Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's Easy Game here. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to take time to make this video and share something that I may or may not have discovered. It's only been about a week and a half of me doing this, but I think I might have found a bit of a workaround to kind of train the Eomm system that is in Marvel Rivals. So first, let me kind of explain for those of you who might not know what Eomm actually is. So EOMM stands for Engagement Optimized Matchmaking. Basically, what that means is it's a system that keeps track of basically everything you do in game, and more importantly, when you log off the game. And essentially, the theory is that it will manipulate your match-made games into wins or losses based on what's more likely to keep you online and engaged in the game playing, right? Now, I know Marvel Rivals developers have come out and openly stated that this game does not use EOMM. And let me just put it to you as straightforward as possible. If you believe that, you are very naive. If you've ever worked in any front-facing industry where you're talking to customers or in the sales industry, there's something called sales BS. I'm sure you know what that stands for. But basically, it's a way to lie to customers or clients without actually lying to them. So you're telling them something that is implying a truth that isn't real. So if you go back and watch the video where they say that there's no EOM, what they say exactly is that we do not use EOMM. They say that exact phrasing. They don't say we don't use anything that manipulates matchmaking. So EOMM specifically is actually trademarked and in use by a different company. So what they use is actually goes under a different name, but it operates the same way. So they essentially lied to all of us without actually lying to us, and that's why they worded it exactly the way they did it. I mean, you can go, talk to any content creator with a brain. It's just common sense. If you play this game enough and you have basic logic and pattern recognition, you know that it's in the game. I mean, I've been playing games for 20 plus years now competitively. I've been top 1% in so many different games. Started in Halo 2, went to World of Warcraft, played League of Legends for a long time. A lot of these games are solo queue games, and I've never played a game that has win and loss streaks as frequently and as egregiously as this game does. So there's definitely something in the game that is manipulating your matchmaking. It's not up for debate at this point. You're very naive if you think it doesn't exist. It's there. Recently, actually, I just saw Eomm Avenue, who's like a very popular rival streamer. He actually released a video saying he's taking a step back, and he mentions in that video that there was just blatant EOMM and basically the same thing, that he's been playing games for a long time. He's never played a game that has matches like this. So it's really not up for debate, guys. But anyways, let me go in and talk about exactly what I've been doing to kind of essentially beat the system. Yeah, so recently I just kind of came back to Marvel Rivals, playing it a lot. I took a kind of sizable break of not playing very much for the last couple seasons, but I came back. I was like, I'm going to play a lot this season. They added 6 bands. It's more enjoyable now. That's what I thought. And I was playing about 8+ hours every day on one account, and the games were miserable. Absolutely miserable. Almost no close games, no competitive games. They were all one-sided, either whether I was winning or losing, just completely one-sided. Zero impact from any player, just the game was decided when I loaded in, essentially. And I mean, you could see in my match history, right? It's 2 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses, 4 wins, 4 losses. It's very predictable, very streaky. When you win a bunch in a row, you know you're about to lose a bunch in a row. I mean, it's right here in front of your face. And this isn't just my experience. This is everybody's experience that plays this game a lot. This is what happens. So, I was kind of just stuck around GM1, Celestial 3, couldn't go up, just spam queuing because this is what my games were like. I either got a game that I could win, that I basically didn't even have to try, or I got a loss that no matter how hard I tried, it wasn't winnable. They were just one-sided games the whole way, pretty much one way or the other. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to swap accounts and see if I have better luck on my other account. So I log on my other account. Let me show you what that one looked like. So this is my other account. This is when I logged in. I think I played a couple placements before this because I got placed GM3 because I ended Celestial 3 on this account last season. When I first logged in, the games were pretty normal. I wasn't winning every game, but the games were relatively close. There were a couple EOMM games right here. This game's only lasted 4 minutes. Clearly, we got spawn camped here. But it wasn't nearly as awful and miserable as my other account. A lot of these games were very normal, even if I lost. Winnable games, if things went differently. But then eventually, the more I played, then it started turning into Eomm. Fortunately, in my favor on this account, but the game started becoming very one-sided, very streaky. As you can see, the Eomm takes over eventually. And then I started thinking back to the seasons where I played a lot, and I kind of did my new method on accident because this was season 1.5. This is when I got both of my accounts to Eternity. And I remembered when I did that season is I would play on an account, and whenever I started losing, I would swap to my other account, and I would kind of leapfrog my way up. And eventually both of them ended up in Eternity, and that's kind of where I stopped playing. I just started playing other games. And I thought I started thinking, and I was like, you know what? And I also remember seeing TikToks back then of like these little tricks to, manipulate Eomm. And of course, they got written off. People, myself included, kind of were just like, it's just clickbait, whatever. But I was like, you know what? Maybe they were onto something, and maybe I was onto something by accident in those old seasons. So what I started doing is I started playing an account. And like I said, it's very predictable. So as you can see right here, I won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row, and then I lost. And what do? Instantly log off. Once you know the loss streak is coming, it's almost like training a dog. You see it coming. You're like, okay, I know this game is about to feed me a bunch of losses. The Eomm's coming. Log off. Log off, swap accounts, or just don't play until tomorrow if you only have one account and see what happens. Because I've been doing this on both of my accounts, and keep in mind, both of my accounts were hard stuck GM1 Celestial for weeks. And I just started doing this method on both of my accounts, and now both of my accounts are in Celestial 2, less than a week of doing this method. So it could just be luck. This could all be tinfoil hat. But again, I did this in a previous season, and that was my best performing season ever. And now I'm doing it again, and it's already working again. It's already been a week. Both my accounts are up to Celestial 2, and I don't really see any sign of stopping because the game quality for my games has gone up infinitely. I'm not getting nearly as many one-sided games, whether that's winning or losing. It's working. Really, it's just working. So I encourage you guys to test this out for yourself and see if it works for you. Leave a comment down below if you've already been doing this and it's working, or if you just start doing it and it's working for you. But trust me on this. Try it out. Get 1 or 2 accounts. Or if you only have one account, like I said, once you see that Eomm water slide of losses coming, log off, wait until the next day, and log back in. Or you play on one account, you get your wins, you start being fed losses, log off, swap to the other account, do it again. The only thing is, when you first log on, if you lose a couple games, just power through it, because eventually you're going to get on that win streak. When you want to log off is once you end your win streak, like right here, 6 wins in a row, right? Once you get that next loss, you can maybe go 1 or 2 losses. You don't have to always log off after the first one. But once you know that streak of losses is coming, just log off. You got to train the Eomm algorithm that, hey, if you feed me more than 1 or 2 losses in a row, I'm logging off the game. And it remembers it, and the next time you log in, you're going to be met with the win streak. Or you're going to be met with maybe 1 loss, and then the win streak comes. Instead of, having to sit there for 4 to 5 losses in a row to balance out, you might just have 1 loss when you log in, and then it'll reset you back into that winner's queue. And again, this all might be tinfoil hat, but I've already done it on 2 accounts. It's already worked on 2 accounts in less than a week. I've changed nothing else. I haven't changed the way I play. I haven't changed the characters I play. Everything has been exactly the same other than this method, and I've already gone up 2 whole divisions on 2 different accounts. So clearly something's going on here. Not 100% sure if this specific thing is what's manipulating it, but again, it's working. So try it out for yourself, guys. Let me know how it works, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. Check me out live on my Twitch if you haven't already. And until the next one, guys, peace out. Actually, forgot about this, but I wanted to include it at least at the end of the video because first of all, it's pretty funny, and it also encapsulates everything that's kind of been discussed in the video. But basically, a couple weeks ago, I was playing, and I was on one of those gnarly Eomm loss streaks where I couldn't win. I was giving my teammates their roles, trying my hardest, picking characters I play, 0-5, complete unwinnable games, camped in our spawn. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna troll because I already know the win streak's coming and it doesn't matter what I do. So I'm just gonna troll. I'm gonna hardlock Scarlet Witch and let's see what happens. And can you guess what happened? I won 5 in a row playing Scarlet Witch. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't doing bad. The character is obviously not very good. But yeah,
Told you, doesn't matter what I play, 100% luck.
I won 5 in a row and basically proved that if you have a fully functioning brain and basic pattern recognition, you can predict what's going to happen in your next games because it's obvious. It's not hidden. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this method in the video works for you guys and you can beat the system, or hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, if people start exposing it more and maybe the devs eventually just remove the system and we can get a normal, fun, enjoyable matchmaking experience. But, you know, that's probably not going to happen.